if you're talking to the C-suite and they're the ones that are setting the role model, they have objectives, they have KPIs. Does this have a direct line of sight to their language? When they go into the board meeting, nobody on the board is saying, "How is the culture coming? Are you guys being a good role model?" Nobody talks about this. So tell me, how do we talk about this with our C-suite? How does it align with the goals, the vision, the KPIs, the objectives, the measurable objectives that they have that they're focused on?
I think culture feeds everything, honestly. And the purpose of it is to build a high performing team that ultimately is going to consistently hit their objectives. And I think what you're talking about, Steve, you're absolutely correct. When you're dealing with the C suite, they want to know, did we or did we not get this done? Are we on track or are we not to getting this done? And I think the way I think about it is that culture is the engine that propels that vehicle to consistently produce quality results. And so that's the end goal, or that's the fruit of the tree, is that, hey, we're consistently growing, we're hitting our objectives. But really the roots of it and the branches are the culture that you've built and put in place.
There's a reason why I asked that beyond making that direct connection, but most of us in HR and talent acquisition, we're treated more like a support department than we have a seat at the table. But we're the ones that are most interested in fostering a company culture that attracts and retains the right people. Going back to the Jim Collins book, getting the right people in the right seats. That is not an easy task. And it does, just like with the psychological safety and the Google internal analysis that they did, this makes a big difference. This actually creates high performance teams. Now, you talk high performance teams to the CEO or the CRO, or you're going to get, yeah, they're going to listen. Now they're listening. So I think some of the things that you've talked about here in bringing in outside proof points that say, these are the kind of things we do and need to do because we know it impacts performance of the teams and it impacts performance of the business. And it doesn't have to be our opinion. And if we bring it to them, guess what? We help them foster and create and then bring in the right people and retain the right people. Retention and direct impact on the business is well documented, well known, costs and ramp up times and everything. So we can look at both sides of retention, but acquisition of the right teams. We can talk their language. And I think that's one of the big takeaways that I had from our earlier conversation is that it's something that we need to know their language of how they talk and how they think. And how do we help them set the tone for the culture so that we could have all the benefits we've been talking about here? Is that a good takeaway from our conversation here?
Yeah, I think so. Ultimately, strong cultures produce strong results, which is, again, we kind of said that, but when you get to the C level and you get into the boardroom, results are what matters most to these individuals, and rightly so. So that will resonate if you explain to people, look, this is a result of us codifying and building a strong culture over time, which turns into a high performing organization, which makes everybody in the boardroom look good.